we start off this morning with the quarterback because we've reached an interesting point here in the season at the bye through 4 games, and not just in this season, but in the career of Jalen Hurts, who has been, obviously a good Eagles quarterback and a good draft pick and a guy they paid and a guy that he took the Eagles to the Super Bowl. But he does not look right now like that guy. He does not look like that guy. You said it yesterday. I agree with you. He looks close to or is an average quarterback at this point. And as a guy that was at one point a very big Jalen Hurts supporter, and I wanted him on the field, and I wanted him to play, and I wanted them to keep him, and I wanted him to be the starting quarterback, and forget all these veteran guys that are over the hill. As we sit here now, I'm not talking about how I felt 2 years ago, because, much like when Darius Slay tweets out his stats from 3 years ago, I don't care. Much like how you may have felt about Jalen Hurts 2 years ago, it doesn't matter. It's about now. And Hugh, right now, I am legitimately concerned about Jalen Hurts. On the record, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about where his career is going. I'm concerned about where this season is going. And obviously, with that, where the Eagles' future is going, because he's so connected by being their starting quarterback and how much money they gave him. They're on the hook for a lot next year. He's probably going to be here. Hugh, I'm concerned because I see a player right now that doesn't do much super well, right? Like, he turns the ball over too much. He seems to be a little bit slow or in slow motion going through his reads and getting the ball out as fast as it has to be. He doesn't run quite as well as he used to, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like we have, like you watch Lamar run, you watch Jaden Daniels run. They're making dynamic running plays. We don't really have that at the quarterback position. So I'm looking at him. I'm trying to figure out what he does super well. I don't see it. They have a team around him right now that has a lot of issues. And I'm just concerned that we're going the wrong direction with the quarterback that a few years ago looked like one of the top 5 guys in the league. Hugh, I'm on the record now on today. What is today? October 2nd, 2024. I am officially concerned about Jalen Hurts. Hugh, where are you on the quarterback?
I think that's fair. Let me say that first. I think that's fair. And what I'm about to say, it's not zero-sum. It's not the end of the world. But I think right now there is cause for concern because we're all focused on what Coach Sirianni is doing or what he isn't doing because right now he's the one that's fresh on our mind. Mm-hmm. He's the one that has taken a lot of the heat over the last couple of months. I'm going to even go back to last year when some of the things that he said made it feel like he was incompetent. I don't think that's the whole case. Now, he's not all to blame. I think you have to give Jalen Hurts some of that blame. And I can't put my finger on this. And I'll say it again for those people that don't like to listen to what's being said. This is not the end of the world for Jalen. I think he can get better. But right now, there's a disconnect between where Jalen is and where this team needs to be, and I think it can be fixed. I'm going to remain positive on this. I think it can be fixed, but we have to be honest about where we are. Sometimes, especially bad analogy time, in relationships, if you're trying to date, just use dating as an example, and every time something happens, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, say you try to date 5 or 6 times and all 5 or 6 times it doesn't work out. At some point, you got to start looking at yourself.
Look in the mirror. Yeah.
You have to look at yourself and wonder if maybe it's you. And I think that's fair. A lot of people, when we watch football and we think we see what we see, listen, people, we don't know as much as we think we do. Even I don't because I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what's going on. But you have to start looking at things a little differently. And the thing that I see is this. Common denominators in situations like this, Joe. We're 4 games in. I think they're going to be better. I'm going to say that because I said it yesterday. I think they're going to be better. But right now, the common denominator is Jalen and the coach. Everything else has changed. But the common denominator right now is Jalen and the coach. And I think if you're being honest with yourself, you have to look at both of them and say, okay, who's doing what? And where is the disconnect? So that's where I am with it. Yes, to answer your question in a long-talking way, yes.
The long talking to start us off. 215-592-9494. Here are some numbers for Jalen Hurts through the first 4 games. And we got 4 weeks in, right? Everyone's played 4 weeks. The Monday night games are in the books, so the stats are all out there. Through 4 games this season, Jalen Hurts, here are his rankings in the NFL. Yards per attempt, 22nd. Completion percentage, 16th. Passer rating, 21st. Sacks taken. So you want to be, do you want to be towards the bottom of this? He's unfortunately towards the top. He's taken the 6th most sacks in the NFL. Turnover-worthy plays. I don't have to tell you. You've seen it with your eyes. He's first. He has the most turnover-worthy plays in the NFL. This is all real. And, I know we joked last year and we did a little Wentz watch. I'm telling you, this reminds me of where I was with Wentz 2019. Now, Wentz never recovered. He went in the tank. He got worse and worse and worse. Jalen doesn't have to. Jalen can fix this. They can fix this. This can go back on the train. But I'm seeing troublesome signs here from a quarterback who's not as good as he was a couple years ago. 215-592-9494. And my biggest theory on this, and I know a lot of people have different theories. Is it the coaching? Is it the scheme changes? All this kind of stuff. Is it he got paid, right? He's trying to justify his contract. Part of my thinking on this is he knows he's not as great of an athlete as he used to be, and it's changed how he plays the position. Let me quickly give you an example. Hugh, when I watched him in 2021 and 2022, he didn't put the ball in harm's way. He didn't throw interceptions. He didn't get strip sacked. And my theory is because if it wasn't there right away, Hugh, if he didn't see it right away, he took off and he ran. And he got 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, first down Eagles, and then we're happy, right? And then we go to the next play. Now, I think he knows he doesn't quite have the legs he used to. So he sits back there an extra second. He's looking. He's waiting. Strip sack. And then the ball's out. And we say, Jalen's a turnover-prone quarterback now. Well, he's become that. And I just think it's physically, he's not the same. He's trying to do the right thing and make the play. But by the time he gets the ball out, like Sunday, that arm is hitting his arm and the ball is out. I don't think any of this is intentional. I think he's trying to do the right thing. But you lose one little step in the NFL, it could change your game.
I don't know if I believe that's the case. This is one of those situations where you try to figure out what's going on. Like I said, I think Jalen is fixable. I think at a lot of times he's trying to do too much.
Yep.
I think that's what it is, more so than anything else. He feels like he has an opportunity to make a play, and you need to speed that opportunity up. You have to realize that sometimes, when what Kyle say, the shadow realm, guys come out the shadow realm quick. They come out quick, and you have to get ready to football. You just have to be aware of your surroundings,
yep.
And he's not doing that. Because to me, every time Jalen has had an egregious turnover, it's been during a moment where there needs a big play to be made, and he's trying to make that play instead of taking what the defense gives you. So I think more so that's, I guess for a lack of a better way of saying it, that's more like ego because you want to be the guy, to be the hero. Think about it, Joe. The first pick that he threw, we were kind of behind the sticks a little bit.
Middle
in
of the
Green
field
Bay.
Against Green Bay, yep.
And the one that he threw in Atlanta, trying to be the hero because Kirk Cousins just drove the team down the field. And then you look at Sunday, and it's one of those plays where you're trying to make something happen. You're trying to get back in the game, and you're trying to heave the ball down the field. So I think everything that he's doing right now is fixable. He just needs to have a little bit more awareness about the situation that he's in.
215-592-9494. Let's hear from Ray Didinger on yesterday with the morning show. How concerned is Ray about Jalen?
I think there's genuine reason to be concerned here. And it's, as with all things and with all football teams and all football seasons, everybody tries to narrow it down to the quarterback, and it's never just the quarterback. So a lot of what's happening with this team is happening on multiple fronts. But ultimately it does come back to him in many ways. And he's just, I'm just really kind of baffled with the way he's playing right now because, there's a part of me that says I know he's better than this, and I keep thinking each week is going to be the week that he kind of comes out of it. But the further along we go and the deeper we get, it's harder to find the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, and the evidence mounts that this is more of who he is than what we thought in 2022. Unfortunately,